guys, it's Betmaster Ben back again for Sportsbet TV. If you followed our tips last week, unfortunately, you are not in the money. It was absolutely awful. I got to hold my hands up this time. It's international break. We'll just blame it on that. But real football is back this weekend, and I have got Louis Beneventi back with me again. Last time we presented this show, you were in for a winner as we predicted an awesome fourfold, and I think we got some boxing tips.
That's why, yeah, we did. That's why I'm back, because he says he's the master, but let's be real, it's probably because I was there. He got it all right. So, we'll glaze over that. But Ben, I'm really excited to be back. What you got for me?
I have got an interesting fourfold to bring to you this weekend. The first leg of that is coming at the Leicester v Burnley game. Leicester to win at home to Burnley.
100%.
My reasoning for that is I think Leicester are showing brilliant form at the moment, and Burnley, look, they're not showing bad form, but away from home they're just not the same side as that Turf Moor, so I'm going for a Leicester win.
I think that's a great call. I mean, Leicester really ran Liverpool close at Anfield a couple of weeks back. I don't think anybody, I can't expect it, I predicted it.
Exactly, head over to his game, we predicted 2-1.
Exactly, I got it right. Penalty shouldn't have been a penalty, but it doesn't matter. Leicester really put a big fight. Burnley this season, Burnley, I think almost Leicester, I think could be interesting though. I think Leicester, I agree, will beat Burnley. However, Burnley could be, the kings of that wonderful, unhistorical game that Sam Allardyce played, for example, now taken up by Sean Dyche against a side which is in that top half, in for that race. They could really give them a tough test. But I think Leicester are showing really good signs this season. Could potentially break the top four. I think that's a great call.
All right, and moving on, staying in the Premiership, our next tip is Bournemouth against Norwich, and Bournemouth to win that game at home at the Vitality. I think Norwich are just shocking at the moment. They're losing every game, especially away from home. I think that one speaks for itself, really, Bournemouth to win that game.
It does, however, Bournemouth do have a tendency to fluctuate a bit. It seems to be at the beginning of every season, Bournemouth go on this tremendous run, beating everybody, comfortably get top half, and then they just slowly ebb away for the rest of the season. Could be a case that might happen this season. Norwich, I mean, they beat Man City. That's, for me personally, I think that's a bit of a risky one. But I look at it, Bournemouth to beat Norwich. The facts are there. Bournemouth, regular Premier League side. Norwich have a hell of a lot of injuries. Pukki's not firing on all cylinders anymore. Obviously, Bournemouth have got Josh King. They've got Callum Wilson. They've got some fantastic players in that side. Very solid as well with Nathan Ake at the back. Yeah. I think, it could be very interesting to see how that one develops. I
think Norwich, they had a very strong start to the season. We know Pukki banging in the goals. As you said, those have dried up. So I think Norwich's form of late, especially in the last 3-4 weeks, has been utter dreadful, to be honest. So I think Bournemouth will win this comfortably.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, moving on to Spain, we have got Barcelona against Eibar away. Barcelona away, that is, and I'm going for a simple Barcelona to win. The odds on that is 1.5, so it's quite big odds for Barcelona to win there.
Well, I mean, Barcelona haven't had the best season so far.
They have.
They've been, they've been ebbing slowly. Valverde's got his job under the cosh at the moment, but Eibar aren't the greatest of sides. This should be a walkover for Barcelona, and I think that's a pretty safe bet for this weekend.
All right, and for the last tip of the fourfold, it goes to Germany. And we're going for Dortmund to beat Borussia Mönchengladbach and both teams to score. And the reasoning behind this bet is that the last 5 times they've played at the Signal Iduna, Dortmund have won and both teams have scored all 5 times. So we're sticking with that.
It's a great bet. I think it's tough because Mönchengladbach having a really good season.
Good side.
They're a very solid team. But like you said, look, this is Dortmund at home. That yellow wall, obviously the amazing stadium itself. The fans being the 12th man. They've got great players in that squad as well. Jadon Sancho, Marco Reus. You also got Paco Alcacer as well. There's some fantastic talent in the Dortmund
Didn't
squad.
Hazard just join them from Gladbach
and
as well?
Thorgan Hazard did join them from Mönchengladbach, so he might be wanting to prove against his old team what he's capable of. But look, I think it's a great game. Great players by both teams. Obviously, Sommer as well, been a stalwart for Mönchengladbach over the past few seasons. Some fantastic talent on display. Great game of football. Both teams, I agree, will definitely score. But it's going to be a very tight affair. But look, I think, again, Dortmund being the favourites for one of the Bundesliga titles this year, alongside Bayern Munich as well. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how this season develops in the Bundesliga.
All right, so there you have it. That's our fourfold. Leicester to beat Burnley, Bournemouth to beat Norwich, Barcelona to beat Eibar, and Borussia Dortmund to win and both teams to score. And you can find that at 10-1, which is whooping odds, which is actually the same odds that we brought to you last time. So hopefully it's an omen. But anyway, it doesn't stop there. We move on to the darts. We've got the BDO World Masters Championships on the 25th of October in Royal Spa. And we've got 2 tips to bring to you there. The women's, we're going for Lisa Ashton, the favourite to win. And for the men's, we're going from Jim Williams from Wales to win that. He's about 3rd favourite in the rankings. So, get your money on there. They're brilliant, brilliant whooping odds there. But it doesn't stop because we've got some boxing now, and we are going over to Louis to tell us about that.
Right, well, the first fight is, and Ben's got it on the screen, and I can't spell it to save me life. Like last time, Betebiev versus Vodstak. I think that's what we'll go with. If I'm very wrong, please do tell me. I'm really sorry.
Not bad.
I tried.
Better than last time.
It is better than last time. But for that, we're going to go decision on points for Betra. Oh my God, I can't say his name. Beterbiev to win on points in that fight. But for me personally, the big fight of the weekend is Ritson versus Davies Jr. in Newcastle. Obviously presented by Matchroom Boxing, called Bad Blood. Big affair. Ring walk's going to be at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. And this fight is unreal. The form of the 2 fighters, look,
identical.
It's pretty much identical. Looking straight up a bit, you've got Ritson here, he's had 4 straight total knockouts. First round, second round, first round, third round, and split decision in the 12th round, obviously as well. But the form for Davies Jr. as well, we got 3 knockouts and 2 unanimous decisions. These guys are great fighters. Both of them are looking great. Obviously, Davies Jr. ages it just slightly on the knockout with 68% in comparison to Ritson 63.
He's also 4 years older as well.
He is as well, but at the same time, in terms of WBA, he is ranked 7th, while Ritson is ranked 9th. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with that. However, despite me saying all these odds and going, where's his favour here, it does this, it does that, I'm back in Ritson. I think it's going to be a great fight. He needs to start getting a super lightweight round. 12-round contest. Ritson to win. I'm calling it now. Just saying.
All right, you heard it here first. Louis Beneventi has called the boxing. I've called the darts. I've called the football. Comment below and let us know if you've got onto these tips. And as always, happy punting.